Hi, I'm Mrs.D Math. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to cover adding and subtracting fractions in 7th grade math. So let's go ahead and get started. So when we're adding and subtracting fractions, we need to remember to find a common denominator, then create equivalent fractions. After we've done that, we can add or subtract the numerators and then keep our denominator. Sometimes you may have to end up reducing at the end, so make sure you always double check to see if your answer is in lowest terms. So we're going to start out here with just a simple addition problem. So here we have 3/4 plus 1/5. Now I know 4 and 5 are not the same number, so I need to find their common denominator. So what we're doing is finding their common multiple. So if I think about my multiples of 4, the one that 5 also goes into is 20. So we're going to use 20 as our common denominator. Now, it does say then we have to create equivalent fractions. So what that means is if I change my denominator by a multiple of 5, I also have to multiply my numerator times 5. And 3 times 5 is 15. So 3/4 and 15/20 are equivalent fractions. They just are in different forms. So when we go to the second one, 5 goes into 24 times, so 4 times 1 is 4. So I've now increased both of my numerators to make equivalent fractions with our common denominator of 20. So now we can go ahead and add the numerators. So 15 plus 4 is 19, and my denominator is going to stay that common denominator of 20. So 3/4 plus 1/5 comes out to 19/20, and I know I can't reduce that, so that's going to be my final answer. So let's go ahead and try a subtraction problem. So for this one, we have 3/4 minus 1/2. Now, if I want to find a common multiple, I want to go with the smallest one possible. Your instinct here might be to choose 8, but both of these numbers can also go into 4, which means my first fraction is going to stay the same. If my common denominator is one of the actual two denominators, then my fraction doesn't change, but that means the second fraction has to change to a denominator of 4. 2 goes into 4 2 times, so I've got to multiply 1 times 2 to get my second fraction. Now I can go ahead here and subtract my numerators. 3 minus 2 is 1. And my denominator 4 stays the same. So I can't reduce that. That's my final answer. Now, if we would have used 8 as our common denominator, we still would have come to the same answer, but we would have had the answer 2/8 at the end, and we would have had to reduce it. So when you go with the lowest common multiple, the LCM, in order to find your common denominator, you're going to save time at the end of your problem, and you're not going to have to reduce. So let's go ahead and review adding and subtracting fractions when we have mixed numbers or mixed fractions. So in this case, we still need to find a common denominator, and then we need to add the numerators and the whole numbers and keep the denominator. Or in the case of subtracting, sometimes we might have to borrow from that whole number. So let's try our first problem here. We have 5 and 2/5 and 3 and 1/3. So in order to find a common denominator, I know that 5 and 3 have a common multiple of 15. My whole number is going to stay the same. So now 5 times 3 is 15, so 2 times 3 is 6. 3 is my whole number, 15 is my denominator, and 3 times 5 is 15, so 5 times 1 is 5. Now I can go ahead and add my whole numbers, which is 8. And 6 plus 5 is 11 over 15. Because this is a proper fraction and I can't reduce 11/15, 8 and 11/15 is my final answer. So now when I'm subtracting mixed fractions, we sometimes have to borrow from the whole number in order to subtract our numerators. So let's go ahead with 6 and 7/10 minus 4 and 4/5. So this time, whenever I find my common denominator, I have 6, and I do know that 5 goes into 10. So 10 is going to stay the same. So 7/10 doesn't change because my common denominator is 10. Then I'm going to subtract 4, and 5 goes into 10 2 times. So 2 times 4 on top is 8. So now here we have 6 and 7/10 minus 4 and 8/10. And I'm going to need to borrow in order to make my 7 larger so I can subtract 8. So if I borrow from the 6, that becomes a 5. And now I'm adding 1 whole to this 7/10, and that 1 whole is a fraction of 10 over 10. So this 7 becomes 17. Your shortcut is just going to be to add your numerator plus your denominator, and that's going to equal the new numerator. So now I can go ahead and subtract. So 5 minus 4 for my whole numbers is 1, and 17 minus 8 is 9 out of 10 for my denominator. And since that is a proper fraction, I can't reduce it, so my final answer is 1 9/10. I hope this video helped you review how to add and subtract fractions. And since this is 7th grade math, the next video is going to be incorporating adding and subtracting fractions with integer rules. I'm Mrs. D Math. I hope you have a great day. Bye.